What is going on, guys? Scary back again, giving you the next video in our series for beginners on Escape from Tarkov, this one being on looting. So for this episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping into a map of customs, and I'm going to be showing you a looting run that I do on customs that can easily make you 100k plus, barring that you survive the map. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in an offline raid. I'm going to enable scavs just so we can see where some of the scavs spawn if we come across any. I'll show you all of the secret stash locations, which keep you out of the way of other PMCs, scavs, and player scavs. And again, if you have a large enough backpack and you survive through the map, you can easily use this method to make 100k on each of your runs. So I'll just load up the map and we'll get started. Alright, so now that we're spawning in, the first thing that I wanted to show you guys is my loadout. So the first thing that I recommend is making sure that you have a big enough backpack that's at least a 5x4, so e.g. the scav or the Burkut backpack. The reason for this is that you can easily just chuck guns in sideways like this. I'm using the Pt.2, which has a backpack size of, I believe, 35. Low speed penalty. So this allows me to loot more as I'm going through the map, as well as also fit guns in this larger section here. So we have spawned near the customs warehouse and the trailer park. I'm only going to be showing you the secret stashes in this run through, so I'm just going to run through to the first one, which is over near the RUAF roadblock, and we'll start talking from there. Alright, so we're coming up to the first two stashes here on the western side of the map. As we come up to the RUAF roadblock, as you can see, it is quite common for scavs to spawn up along this section here, so I don't actually bring any ammo. But these guys are really aggressive. I don't think I've ever seen one throw a grenade at me. So we're going to try and make it through here without dying. So your first one here is underneath these two pipes, and if you walk into this bush, there's a little container here which, if you stand right over it, you can search it. Random loot. Generally we'll always have food, water, or bullets and mechanical items. Sorry, bartering items. So that one was pretty average to start with, but that's right. We'll move on to the next one. So cutting straight across to the north, you'll see this lot of, the next lot of two pipes straight across, and there's this large bush right here. If you walk into the center of this bush slowly, looking at the ground, you'll notice right in the middle that there's this wooden section which you step on. This is pretty much just like another hidden stash which you can open. So move your mouse around until you find the search button, keep smashing that use key, and you'll also find some more loot. So that's the first two. These two are generally looted pretty quick, so unless you spawn on the western side of the map, most players know about these two. Then you probably will miss out. Otherwise, if you're on the western side and you can get here relatively quickly in a safe manner, I highly suggest looting them because they have better items than I just picked up. So we'll move along to the next two stashes, which are pretty much right in the center of the map in between dorms and gas station. I accidentally just got shot by a scav, so I'm going to restart this map, jump back in, and then we'll move on to the next two stashes. Alright, so coming up to the next two stashes here, they are quite vulnerable in terms of their location. So there's one just here right in front of me at those pile of tyres, and there's another one just in the bushes there towards dorms, just to the right of the wall of the bus interchange. The one problem that you can have is that, luckily, I can show you, is that a scav sniper will spawn up on that tower. So either A, take him out, or B, try and find a way that you can loot these places without killing him, so you're giving away your position. However, if he starts shooting at you, then most players on the map will know, can just follow the barrel of his rifle, and he knows where. But most players can just follow the barrel of the rifle, and they know where he's shooting at. So I'm going to try and loot these two players without taking out the scav sniper because I forgot any bullets, or rather I brought the wrong bullets, accidentally for my SKS. If we die, I'll just load back in and we'll just keep moseying on. So if you stand on this side of the pipe, it's quite hidden. And you also can't be seen by the scav sniper up there, so it's quite a good spot. The only angle that you're probably going to get seen from is from the trains or any players that saw you get to this position to start with. Now you will have noticed that I've lost my loot from the start because I got shot in the leg by a scav, so I will go back and search those two areas at the end, just so we can add up our tally and see what we came up with. So that one, quite average again. We didn't get a good run from that one, so I'm just going to sprint through to the next stash. If you follow this wall and you angle yourself slightly to the right, you notice that there's some broken logs directly in between these lines of trees. So if you run straight towards them, you can easily see as you're coming up to it this hidden stash here. I don't know who those other scavs are shooting at in dorms. Strange. So CPU drop, first decent drop that we've come across so far. Alright, so moving along. The next lot of stashes are going to be near gas station and up in the hills near the power lines. So we'll go to the power lines first, then we'll do the gas station, and then we'll finish off on the eastern side of the map. Of course, once again I've been hit by a scav. I reckon we'll get through this one. We're gonna keep on trooping. Maybe it was a bad idea activating scavs. Alright. So, coming into the construction area with the large power line tower, the first one that you're going to want to find, depending on what way you approach this from, there's one near this blue wall, blue fence, sorry. If you stand in this bush here, in between the edge and the broken bit of fence, there is another small container here that you can search down the bottom. Again, this one can be quite dangerous right at the start of a raid, due to players moving around, coming from spawns in that direction or from gas stations, so just be wary when you search this one. The next one that we have is actually relatively close by, so it's just if you walk straight from this fence back towards this large rock which you can see straight through the trees, there's one just in the back corner there. Alright, I actually got the angle wrong a little bit. It is not that large rock, it is indeed this large rock. So it's the only rock which you can walk around along this fence line around the back of. So if you find this rock which you can walk around the back, standing at the back of the rock looking west towards the customs warehouse / dorms area, you'll notice that there's this single tree in line with this rock. At the base of this tree you can see that there is another hidden stash just here. This one's looking a little bit more promising. Again, this isn't really a good one. But even picking up all these small items, you're still probably guaranteed at least 80 to 100k. So even though we haven't hit any high value items yet, it's still probably good if you know your high value items and you prioritize them over your lower value items such as your food and your water. Alright, so the last stash up in the hills, a little bit harder to find the first couple of times, but it's really easy to see. So if you're standing out in the middle of this open area, so we just came from there, and you can also see the blue wall over there, you'll notice that there's one skinny tree, really tall by itself, and then another smaller one just behind it. So you can line yourself up with the power line tower, and walking straight towards this skinny tree, you'll notice at the base of this there's another hidden stash. This one's also very vulnerable as in terms of being out in the open, so make sure that you clear the area first before you loot this stash. So you notice that I'm ignoring all the cigarettes. They're not really worth that much. The crickets aren't really worth that much either, so but we'll keep them until we find some more high value items. Alright, so there's one over near the military checkpoint which you're going to go grab. So from where we were at this stash, if you come back towards the northern side of the map and go straight towards the road, you'll see there'll be a hidden stash there. So I'm going to skip all the slow walking and we're going to jump straight there. Alright, so we're coming up to hidden stash number 7. It's really easy to find. This one's just behind the dumpster. It's out in the open, can't miss it, and quite easy to hide from, although this is also a well-known stash. So make sure you either get this at the start of the raid. If you towards the end of the raid you spawn on the other side of the map like we did, you're probably not going to be able to loot this one. It'll probably be taken, but always worth a shot. You never know. Someone might miss it. Better, we're improving, we're improving. Some really average ammo today. Alright, so we've got 4 stashes to go. There is 1 towards the military checkpoint and 3 around ZB1011. So I'm going to jump to the next one over near military checkpoint and then we'll do the last 3. Alright, so we're just passing military checkpoint to our right. Now, coming up in this area here, there's a few looting spots over there. There's also a higher likely chance of scavs spawning just there, so make sure you just keep that in mind, depending on what time you are getting to this area. But walking right into the middle of the road, there's pretty much 1 bush along this back fence here. So, looking along the line, except for that small excuse for a bush, there's this large one here which is centered by a tree. So standing right in the middle of this one, it's a little bit harder to see. So if you just walk around until you hear that you're stepping on something wooden, look down, find that search button, smash that use key, and you'll be able to open it up. Don't shoot me, scav. Don't need the cigarettes though. Alright. Alright, thoughts and prayers. So the first one's in the back corner here. I will show you. Oh, I'm in trouble. Alright, so it actually turns out that dying to a scav was a blessing in disguise for 2 reasons. The first one, I've taken the time to go back and loot all the stashes in this map so I can show you the actual value at the end. And 2, it seems that the loot is exactly the same, so I can do an accurate price up at the end without having to freak out, take a photo. I should have taken a screenshot. Of the loot that I had, just in case I got different loot when I spawned in. So we're going to go do the last 3 stashes again. So coming up towards the end of near this UN vehicle, near the military checkpoint, now that there's no scav here, there is a stash right in the back corner of the map. So looking down this road, really easy to find. Just run towards the back tree and you'll noticeably see it just here. So theoretically, there should be a defuel in here, as well as vodka, which I haven't actually found before. So what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to start prioritizing items in just a moment, I think. I didn't keep any of the cigarettes, so that's 1 low-value item that you can easily get rid of. So the last 2 stashes are really close to ZB1011, so really handy if no one's looted it and you're at the end of your run, or even if you're at the start and you're looking to just do more of a run-through to make some coin. So the first one we'll look at, so there's ZB. If you look to your right, there's this lot of 4 pipes going between these 2 buildings. Running underneath them, it's just at the back here behind this post. So you can only search it from this side, with the only danger being is if there's players coming from that direction. I don't believe scavs will walk back here, so as you're coming into this area. Standing in front of ZB, looking towards the other back corner of the map, so I guess at the end of the train line, you'll notice that there's a pile of tyres and this lot of bushes just here. So if you run around the back of these bushes and stand against the wall and walk in, you'll notice that you can see this little green area which you can search. So this is the last stash that we're going to be looking at. Hopefully we get some good loot, fingers crossed. Not a bad run. So if we had spawned on the western side of the map where we did at the start of this video, and ZB was our exit, all we'd have to do is just run in here, check for exit campers, nothing there, and then we'd extract. So because we don't take any of this out in an offline raid, I'm just going to take a screenshot, and then I will price it up, and we'll see how much money we made from just this one run. Alright, so we'll just go through the flea market and we'll have a look at some of these high value items that we got. So the first one we'll look at is defuel. We'll see how much defuel, it's not at offer, I don't want to sell anything. So we'll see how much defuel is going for at the moment. It is not called defuel. Yeah, I was going to say it's definitely not 200k. 117k from 1 item. So we've already made a 100k target easily with defuel. So next one we'll search up is vodka. I've actually got no idea how much this is worth. 19k, not too shabby, not too shabby. We've also found some ibuprofen. You probably want to keep these though, because you do get 12 uses out of a single bottle, but if you needed some cash, there's another 22k just there. We also picked up a CPU. What's this called? Oh, yeah. CPU, 10k, not too shabby for a one slot item. The other things that we got out of this raid, which you definitely shouldn't write off, are bolts and screw nuts. Now, the reason for this is that you need these for your hideout. So if you're not going to use them, people have to buy them. So there's going to be high turnover, so you'll definitely sell them if you sell them on the first page of the flea market. And they're also worth 10k plus for another one slot item. So if you find lots of bolts in a map, 5 slots makes you 50k. At the moment, they're quite expensive, so they're actually pushing around 15k, so that's even better. And just checking screw nuts. Yep, okay, so they're a little bit lower. They're around the 10k mark, but the prices do fluctuate depending on demand as players come through. So 7k right there. And I believe that's all of the high value stuff that we had for this run. Maybe the Vaseline was possibly the other one. 25k. So looking at all of those, if we sold everything that we had and maybe found some other loot during the map from some other stashes, 200k. Just from hidden stashes, you can avoid players, you can generally avoid scavs. Don't do what I do, don't run straight into the scavs just for a video. But I was offline mode, so bear with me. So, there we have it. Easy way to make coin. If you're running low on cash, just the only thing I suggest is taking a decent sized backpack. If you're just doing hidden stash runs, you can get away with a MSBB backpack, which is this one right here, which you can just trade for 2 dog tags. So if you don't have enough money to buy a backpack, you can buy one of these as long as you got some dog tags. Otherwise, you might just have to go for something smaller unless you can kill a scav and then obviously take their backpack as you go through. Alright guys, so hopefully you really enjoyed this video. Hopefully that it gives you some insight onto ways that you can make cash in Escape from Tarkov. You don't always have to take on PMCs and scavs, so there are other ways about it. You can be a rat instead of a Chad. This is obviously full rat mode because you're avoiding PMCs. You generally don't have a lot of gear. Even if you do have a lot of gear, then you can still use this to make some quick coin or to add some, if you need some bartering items for your hideout, etc, etc, etc. So make sure to like and subscribe the video, guys, if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys what map you'd like me to do next. So obviously I've just covered customs today. If you'd like me to cover any of the other maps, feel free. The only one that I haven't played is the lab because I am too scared to go into it with my PMC. So let me know, guys. Hit me up on the socials if you'd like. Don't forget to follow me at Twitch. I'll be streaming 5 days a week. And have a look at Facebook and Twitter for live updates. And as always, guys, have a nice day.